Right. Good morning, worldwide family. Welcome back to the channel. Jimmy Flippin' Deals. Thanks you so much for joining me. Thank you. A little tongue-tied this morning. Still kind of half asleep, but that's all right. I am headed to my day job. I believe I have the day off tomorrow. So, somehow, regardless of the fact that I'm coming in at noon today, I still almost overslept. I guess it is what it is, right, guys? No, I was up yesterday working on my website some more. Hey, yesterday was not a huge win in the sense of the amount of progress that I actually got completed. What do you call it? Scientific method. You find out things that don't work, which leads you to things that do. I did have a revelation yesterday I talked about in the previous video. If you hit the shop now button, you could see the structure of the website starting to change. And I realized yesterday while at lunch, I believe it was at lunch, yeah, I think so, that all of the collections of my photos and everything of my listings within my website had shared the same root address. Mine is www.jamestowntrading.com, right? But all of the collections were www.jamestowntrading.com/collections. And I was fighting to get all these collections organized, and is what I'm still doing. It's the idea behind the structure that I'm trying to get. That way when you're looking for apparel or men's apparel, you can go to apparel and then go to men's apparel and then have the option of jeans and shirts, and rather than a hodgepodge of stuff, which is basically the way it has been for the last 18 months. The organization of my website has been severely lacking. Long story short, yesterday, when I was looking at I realized that they all shared that jamestowntrading.com/collections. When I actually put that one in without all of the other stuff that goes behind it, the result was the page that showed was a list in alphabetical order of my collections, right? Like almost a huge step forward towards what I'm looking for. Definitely not the end game. I don't want apparel boys and apparel children apparel men's pants right next to men's shirts, right next to, I want those to be like layered, cascading, whatever you want to call that, where you click on apparel and then it pulls you up. That way the amount of collections shown on a page are limited, and then you can expand them at will, right? That way it's cleaner visually for the customer. However, for the first time in roughly 18 months now, can't believe it's been that long, when I first started GoDaddy, it literally was in chronological order. The first thing that I listed was the first thing on the page. If I never sold the first thing, the first thing stayed there indefinitely. And whenever you pulled it up, it was the same thing. But then when I went to Shopify, they gave it where you could list a few featured collections, but they only gave you a few pages. They only gave you a few pictures for those few featured collections. So it was still like 12 random items basically on a page when you're holding on to 4, 5, 600 different items, you see 12. It was not user friendly at all. Now, whoa, it is windy. I almost got blown off the road. Not really, but kind of. Anyway, now when you do, or when I looked at the / collections, and it listed all of those, that's a huge win. So I rerouted my Shop Now button to that page. So although the same blah 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 is still at the bottom, that's not user friendly, which will eventually change on that page. Even though that is the same, and it will change, all of a sudden now you can look up through the Shop Now button a much better, more extensive list of the website, which will eventually do better. However, I got sidetracked yesterday trying to take that list, which it makes sense to me and to probably people that know how to do it, which is my downfall, to make that particular collections page list have the ability to be layered, which requires getting into the setup themes of the website, not just surface level code, which is on each individual page. And I have literally had I think 3 or 4 days of experience now with code, and although I am starting to be able to read it and identify where things are right and wrong in it, the ability to find in my whole website the file or the paragraph that relates in code, that relates to that particular collections page. I try as I may, I was not able to find that part of the code in the grand scheme of the website, which is where that has to be affected. Not only that, if I mess up that code, it messes up my whole website. Now, in order to be able to alter that code without having any worry about it crashing, one, I worked in an alternate, a replicated version of my website within my website. And in addition to that, I emailed my website to me before I started. That way I could go back from where I started if I needed to, whether it be copy and paste to get me back where I'm going, or just literally come in from there. So, but nevertheless, I could not find that. And after hours and hours of working towards it and affecting and unaffecting parts of the code to see if it gained the desired result, I was unsuccessful. So I finally had to give up on that and go back to where I was yesterday. We're going to make all things new and work towards that. But I do have to admit, I got spoiled with seeing what was the first placeholder of each collection as the main picture of that collection. I thought that was nice. So what I have done, rather than expand on the organization, I did kind of go down the rabbit hole last night with this stuff, because now the new is coming with pictures in tow, like a cover page, so to speak, for each of the collections. That aren't tied to the actual items. That way, when I sell the particular item, the cover page stays more as a base description, And I know that Walmart doesn't, and I base a lot of things off Walmart because they are a successful deal. They don't actually sometimes they do use pictures as their collection holders, but more often they use a digital representation of a shirt, of a pair of shoes, in order to open the collection. Now they do show random collection slideshows, so to speak, throughout their website, and their website's just phenomenal. And I'll get there one day. But at the moment, what I'm doing is feasible, it's achievable, I'm able to take care of it. It's just more or less the ability to complete it. So that's where I'm at for the day. Business is booming, and I didn't put any, I gotta take it with me. I did not put any new listings in, so I've got to deal with that. But other than that, guys, I gotta go to work.